Good morning students. Welcome back to ABPS classes. In last classes we have discussed about that waves. So what is called waves, what are the characteristics and then what are the different types of waves. That is transverse waves and longitudinal waves. So in transverse wave which are perpendicular, the constituent of the particles which are perpendicular to the mean positions. And in longitudinal it is parallel to the mean positions. So these are the things we have discussed in the last classes. Okay, now we are going to see about the topic which are the important for these waves. See here in that topic waves we have discussed a lot of definitions and terms. So you should know what is that wavelength and what is that unit for wavelength, what is the time record for that. These are the things are very important before you are going for that expressions. Okay, so I need to say what is the terms. Let us consider one string. Okay, consider a string. So in that positions, if I am applying a force on the one end, it produces a pulse on the other end. Is it right? Yes. So these waves are produced. So we have differentiate the waves because see these waves are differentiated by the upper waves, the upper portions waves that can be considered as a crust. The upper portions can be considered as a crust, and in downward portions it can be considered as a trough. Okay, and crust and the trough. The crust and the trough. So what is the crust and trough? The distance between the one crust and one trough is called as the wavelength. That is called one wavelength. So what is called wavelength? Wavelength is the distance between. You can also differentiate in terms of the angle. See, this is the 0 and this is the what is this 90 degree and then this is 180 degree and then this is 270. Okay, and then this is the 360 degrees. So it is equal to 2 pi. Can you understand, ma? So what is this? This is the pi by 2. This is pi. So in the waves of one complete rotations, you can say the 360 degrees now. In terms of the waves, you can say that angles. So the angle between the one crust and the one trough can be called as the wavelength. So that it is denoted by letter lambda, which is equal to wavelength. Okay. See, in a transverse way and longitudinal way, we can say that in transverse way, one crust and one trough can be termed as the wavelength. Similarly, in longitudinal way, how we can differentiate the waves, ma? Can you remember that? I explained you now what is called compression, what is called rarefaction. Compression means the waves are to be very closed. In rarefactions, it may be elongated. Okay, so one compression and one rarefaction is termed as the wavelength, and that wavelength term can be denoted as a letter is lambda. That wavelength term can be denoted as a unit, as a letter is a lambda. Therefore, for the time period, what is the time period? You know that the time period can be recorded as the time period. The frequency is inversely proportional to the time period. The frequency is inversely proportional to the time period. Therefore, T is equal to 1 by F. So, what is the unit for frequency? You know that the frequency unit is Hertz. Therefore, 1 by Hertz, which is equal to second. Okay, see here, that is 1. Therefore, from that frequency is equal to 1 divided by time. Therefore, you know that the unit for time is second. So, you can say that second inverse. So, 1 second inverse, or you can say that frequency unit is Hertz. These also be you can learn in your previous chapter, that is oscillations. Okay, can you remember that what is the time period, what is the frequency, and what is the relationship between the time period and the frequency and the unit? Can you got it, ma'am? Therefore, the lambda. So you know that the lambda, that is the wavelength, is inversely proportional to the frequency. The next topic is the wavelength, which is inversely proportional to frequency. So why you are saying that frequency is inversely proportional to now? See, what is the dimension for lambda? You know that what is the dimension for lambda? Length, because one wavelength. Wavelength means that unit is length. So length means the dimensional constant, you can represent it as capital L. Okay, and the frequency. What is the unit for frequency? You know that 1 divided by T. That is time. So in dimension you can written as F is equal to T inverse. Therefore L T power minus 1. Is it right? So what is called L T power minus 1? L T power minus 1, it is a unit for velocity. You know that the velocity formula is distance divided by time taken. So distance is L and time is T, therefore L T power minus 1. Therefore the lambda F L T power minus 1, which is equal to velocity. Therefore the equations can be written as velocity is equal to lambda into frequency. Can you got it, ma? Therefore the velocity which is equal to lambda into frequency, where lambda is called as the wavelength and F is called as the frequency. Can you got it, ma? So this is the one important topic, and this velocity is called as the wave velocity. This velocity is called as the wave velocity, and also you can relate it that lambda into frequency, that is C is equal to nu lambda. You can also be written as C is equal to nu lambda. This is the formula. It will be useful for your one-word problems. Okay. Next, this is the relationship. So according to that wavelength, I am giving you one example, small example sums. This will be asked for your 1 mark. Okay. See here, the average range of the frequency at which the human beings can hear the sound waves. The human beings can hear the sound waves, which varies from 20 to 20 kilohertz. Okay, and from that you can calculate the wavelength of sound waves. You have to calculate the wavelength. So they are asking lambda. So you know that the velocity formula is, can be written as velocity is equal to lambda. That is lambda into F. This is the formula. In last classes, slit I have explained now. The velocity is equal to wavelength into frequency. This is the formula. See, from that what we have going to see now. Therefore, that question asked here is the wavelength. So I am taking that lambda is equal to V divided by F. So I am taking the lambda is equal to V divided by F. So which is equal to. So what is the velocity? You know that they are given in the ranges. The velocity of light is 340. The velocity of sound is 340. You know that the fixed value, the velocity of light is, 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Similarly, the velocity of the sound, see here, the velocity of the sound is fixed, that is 340 divided by, what is the frequency here, ranging from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. So I am taking first of all 20. Then I am finding the wavelength. What is the answer? 17 meter. What is the answer? I got it here, 17 meter. Similarly, the wavelength of another sound waves, because the sound waves varies from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. So I am taking the another wavelength formula. What is that wavelength formula? Lambda 2 is equal to, that is velocity divided by F2. So what is the velocity? 340. And what is the F2? You know that 20. It is a kilo now. So in terms of the kilo, you have write it 10 power cube. In terms of the kilo, you can write it into terms 10 power cube. That is 340 divided by 20 into 10 power cube. When I am multiplying and cancelling all those values, see this is a 17 and 17 divided by 10 power cube, you can write it 0.017 meter. So the wavelength, the ranges from, how much of the regions ranges from 0.017 meter to 17 meter, when the velocity of sound is 340 meter per second. Can you got it, ma? So this is the solutions. It will be next, if it is asked in the term of ratio, means just you have find the ratio and getting the answer. So these are the things which should be asked in your 1 mark. Okay. Yes, the types of the waves, another categories we can solve it in the standing wave and progressive wave. What is called standing wave? The waves which cannot be traveling. See here, the particles which cannot be. See, in a traveling wave, how they can particles. See, if you are taking it's a dot in the position, means you can easily realize that, because when it is moving now, the dots can be removing. The dots can be moving up and down position. So the progressive wave is also be called as the traveling wave. The standing wave does not traveling to the another part. Okay, that is the differences between the standing wave and the progressive wave. So progressive wave means simply you can say it is a traveling wave. The waves that can be traveling from one coordinate to the another coordinate. Okay, see, it is programates in a medium is continuous. So continuously it is able to moving. So the programates in a medium in continuous motion, then that type of the waves is called as the traveling waves. So when the waves are traveling from the one coordinate to the another coordinate continuously, that means that types of waves are called as the progressive, or simply you can say say that it is called as a traveling waves. Okay. Now we are going to see about see some properties because already you know what is the wave and what are the characteristics of wave. And similarly, you have to know the progressive waves. And after that only it is easy for you to go on the another topic. So before that you have to learn what is a term, basic term, what is amplitude, what is wavelength, what is frequency, what is time period, what is the phase, acceleration, velocity. So these are the important basic terms and conditions in that waves. Okay, see, these are the characteristics of the progressive waves. Can you write it, ma? I think these are not in your book, extra points only. Just note it for your understanding purpose. I will give it. So what is the characteristics? The particles in the medium vibrate about their mean position with the same amplitude. What is called amplitude? The maximum displacement, ma. The maximum displacement is called as the amplitude. That is, that term can be termed as the amplitude. The maximum displacement is called as the amplitude. See, the phase of the every particles. In last classes itself I represented one phase. See, one traveling wave means it has one crest and one trough. Therefore, what is the phase angle? What is the phase? See, you know that this is starting mean position is 0 and this is 180 degree and this is 2 pi, that is 360 degree. How can you can expand it? 0, then pi by 2, pi, then 3 pi by 2 and then again 2 pi. So, the phase angles between the one crest and one trough for the transverse wave, it ranges from 0 to 2 pi. It ranges from 0 to 2 pi. This is the second properties. And third properties, and no particles will remain at the rest because in progressive the waves are moving continuously in medium. So it does not represent any other particle in that medium couldn't constant, couldn't at a rest position. So no particles remains at rest and permanently during the wave propagations. What it is called propagations? That is traveling, that is transversing the waves. So no other particles will be at the rest position. That is very important one. And next one is that the crust and trough. This is also I have explained in last classes. What is the crust? The upper portion is called as the crust and down portion is called as the trough. This is for transverse. Similarly, if it is in a longitudinal means the compressed, if it is waves in very closed position means you can say compressions. And what is the rarefaction? The elongations of the wave is called as the rarefaction. So this is represented for longitudinal wave and this is represented for transverse wave. Okay. And then what is the mean position and mean? See, the mean position, it has the same maximum velocity only. So when it is started at the mean position, the particles will have the same maximum velocity. Same maximum velocity. Therefore, the displacement and the velocity and the accelerations that can be differentiated by n lambda. Because you know that one crest and one trough is equal to 1 lambda. Similarly, if the waves is continuous like that, see here, if the wave is continuous like that. Similarly, next to one crest and one trough. Therefore, this is also one wavelength. Therefore, 1, 2. Therefore, how many wavelength in that transverse wave? 2. That is represented. It is a formula is n into lambda, where n is called as the integer and lambda is called as the wavelength. Can you got it, ma? So today we are going to see about the standing wave and the progressive wave. Standing wave means the waves, the state continuously moving in that medium. In a progressive wave, the waves are continuously moving from the medium. So it is also called as the traveling wave. And next you are going to see about the properties. And what is the first properties you are seeing? See, it is vibrate about their mean position with the same amplitude. The amplitude means what is called amplitude? The maximum displacement it should be same. And then the second point what I am saying, the phase angles varied from 0 to 2 pi. And third, what is that third I am representing? No particles will be at the rest position during the propagations. And then what is the fourth? In transverse you can differentiate it crest and trough. In longitudinal you can differentiate it compression and rarefactions. Similarly, in fifth point, the displacement. What is the displacement? The velocity term, the accelerations can be differentiated by n lambda, where n is an integer and lambda is the wavelength. Can you got it, ma? So these are the important properties of the progressive waves. Okay. Next, these are also very small, important one word questions. These are based on our basic. Now we are not entering into the waves lessons. Before that, you can know the basic terms and conditions. So that's why I am explaining all those things. Okay. See another one example. This is one mark. A mobile phone tower. Okay. It transmits a wave signal that is of frequency 900 megahertz. Okay. A mobile phone tower that transmits a wave signal 900 mega. Mega means what is the unit, ma? 10 power 6. Okay. And calculate the length of the waves transmitted from the mobile phone tower. So what they are asking? They are asking the length. That is wavelength they are asking. So you know that what is the relationship between the velocities? That is the velocities and the wavelength. What is the relationship? You know that the velocity of light, that is v. That sometimes the term v can also be written as c. Okay. You know that, students, the velocity relationship is v is equal to lambda f. This is the relationship, you know that. But see here, the velocity v term can also be written as c. The c means also the velocity of light. What is the unit for, what is the value, magnitude for the velocity of light? 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Okay. So you know that the term formula. So I am writing the formula. See, before that what they are given values, so 900 megahertz, that is m can be written as 10 power of 6, that is hertz. So the unit for frequency is hertz. And then you know that the velocity of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. So what is the general formula? C is equal to lambda into f. From that what they are asking, lambda. So I am writing the formula, lambda is equal to c by f or v by f. C that can also be written as v. You can use both term it must be equal only. Okay. See, I am using the c now, so I am taking here also c. Okay, c by f. Therefore, c can be written as 3 into 10 to the power of 8. And what is the f? 900 into 10 to the power of 6. So, after performing your calculations, you got it that answer is 0.33 meter. So, what is the unit for wavelength? That is the meter. Okay, can you got it? So these are like some similar sums. You can do it and practice it for your 1 mark, and this is related for your exercises problems. Okay, and next topic. So the important, I am said in my sessions in first slitters also I have said. So you have to know what are the general topics, important terms and conditions which is related in our wave portions. See, the first one is the angular frequency. What is called angular frequency? The angular frequency is the phase angle, the number of the phase angle per unit time is called as the angular frequency. Can you got it, ma? What is the phase angle? So you know that this is the crest and this is the trough. What is the angle? 0 and this is pi by 2 and then this is the 2 pi. So this is pi and this is the 2 pi. Okay, this is the phase angle. So for one complete rotation, for one cycle, see the phase angle, the number of the phase angles or the number of the cycles per unit time. Per unit time, how many cycles it can be moved. So that it is called as the angular frequency. It is denoted by letter omega. It is denoted by letter omega. That is omega is equal to 2 pi divided by t. So the 2 pi is called as the degree now. So 2 pi means what is the unit for that? Radians. What is the unit for that? Radians. And what is the time unit? Second. So the unit for the angular frequency can be written as radian divided by seconds. Okay. And also you can write the angular frequency formula in terms of the frequency. See, what is that? 1 by t is equal to frequency. So I am taking that f. Can you got it, ma? So what is called angular frequency? You know that the angular frequency formula is the number of the phase cycles flowing per seconds. That is flowing through the 1 time seconds. So what is that? 2 pi divided by t. So you know that what is the t? T is the time period. The time period is inversely proportional to the frequency. So I am writing that 2 pi into f. And next we are going to write the formula. What is the formula? 2 pi means theta. So unit for theta, that is plane radian, the plane angle, that is radian divided by second. Therefore, the unit for that angular frequency is radian divided by second. Can you got it, ma? Yes. The next important one is what is called wave number. The wave number can be denoted by the letter is K. The wave number can be denoted by letter is K. So what is called K? Similarly, the number of the cycles per unit distance. What is the per unit distance? That is wavelength. You know that for one crest and one trough, you can say that this is the one wavelength. This is called as the one wavelength. Okay. So the number of the cycles per unit distance, and number of the waves, the per unit distance is called as the wave number. The number of the cycles per unit distance or the number of the waves per unit distance is called as the wave number. The wave number can be denoted by the letter is K. Therefore, K is equal to 2 pi divided by lambda. So, what is the unit for 2 pi? Plane angle. That unit is radian. And what is the unit for wavelength? Meter. That is radian divided by meter. Okay. So, this is the another one important topic. What is the relationship between the velocity, angular frequency and wavelength? So, you should know before that because it is very useful for doing our one word problem. Okay. You know that velocity formula. What is the velocity formula? V is equal to lambda into F. Is it right? Yes. Okay, next step I am doing that. What is the F? F, you know that now. So in that equation, multiply and divided by 2 pi. Multiply and divided by 2 pi. What is the answer? I got it. 2 pi F divided by 2 pi. So what is the answer? 2 pi F. Take the lambda to the denominator term. So 2 pi by lambda now. So what is the 2 pi F? You know that is the angular frequency omega. And what is the 2 pi by lambda? This is called as the K. That is a wave number. Angular frequency divided by wave number. So this is the relationship between the velocity, angular frequency and wave number. So that formula can be simply written as that is V is equal to omega divided by K. You should know what is omega, angular frequency, and K is called as the wave numbers. Okay. So these are the simple terms and conditions, definitions for the basic waves. Okay. I hope you understood, students. If you have any doubt in it, please ask me. And next classes we are going to see about what is displacement, amplitude, and then equations. You have to derive the equations for basic displacement, accelerations, velocities. Next class we will see. Okay. Thank you.